everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Grounding Gaia Mystics, where we talk about all things feminine, grounding, ritualistic, and so much more. I'm Alicia, for those who are new, and today I have a really special topic prepared about ovulation. Yes, if you would like to know more about this topic, continue watching. So in my previous videos, if you have seen those, I have spoken very in-depthly about my spirituality with my menstrual cycle and how I keep track and my rituals that I have surrounding that time of the month to stay sane and really embrace my flow. And I felt like it was a really great time to talk about our ovulation cycle because it is that time of the month, for me at least, and I have worked very hard to know what time of the month I am ovulating. It's very obvious when you're menstruating. However, when you're ovulating, not too many people know what to look for or have rituals around that time that coexist and are very impactful and powerful around that time of the month. So, without further ado, I want to talk about this a little more in-depthly. So, the very first thing that you as a woman, as someone who identifies with a woman, should know is when you're ovulating, and there are a few important reasons why I think that everyone should know. The number one important reason why is so you can be aware and attuned to when you can get pregnant. Yes, and when you can avoid getting pregnant. So this is speaking to women who are not taking contraceptives and who are wanting to be more in tune with that part of their body. If you're taking contraceptives, I don't think this is the right video for you because I personally have not taken contraceptives, and I have looked into fertility awareness to track my cycle. So if you're fresh off of the pill and you're watching this, give yourself a few months for your body to come back to its natural rhythm, and make sure that you're doing things to keep yourself healthy so that you can eventually know when you're ovulating. And if you've been not on the pill like myself and you just want to learn more, definitely give your time as well to get in sync with what signs to look out for when you're ovulating and all that. So I think that is very important, and we should all know when we're ovulating because of that number one reason. So not only is it really good to know when you're ovulating for pregnancy prevention or preparation, it's really great in my opinion because you can center things around your ovulation time to either get things done or manifest things a little more quickly, because in my experience and from what I understand, your energy levels are a little bit higher, if not a lot higher than they were while you were menstruating. And that's physically as well as spiritually for me and energetically. So physically, your hormones are, your estrogen levels are going up. There's more endorphins and feel-good hormones that are also coexisting at that time, because this is the time your body's telling you, okay, we need to get pregnant, we're preparing the nest, whether you want to or not. This is just what your body is doing without you being on the same bandwagon. So the way that you can actually benefit from this time is to use your energy in different ways. So just an example, I like to get things done very rhythmically, in tune with my cycle, like housekeeping. I clean my own house and I look after my own things. So I have the most energy at this time, and I like to get things done like that. If I have projects that I want to do, I can bust out multiple different projects because I have the energy to do that. And if I need to make phone calls or do any kind of errands, if I want to connect with people, in the community. This is the time to do that. This is a very creative time. Your body is creating internally on a physical level, building up and building up and building up. And you can do that too with your energy. If you're not wanting to get pregnant and all of that, you can use this energy and focus it in other places, which will help you manifest things a lot quicker in my experience. So for example, if you are into creating art, like music, or in the physical visual art sense, then you can create around this time probably a lot more efficiently with your energy. You can focus in that way. And for me, I am more social around this time. I communicate a little bit differently. I am more open, and my energy levels are higher, so I have more energy to give to people at this time. So those are just a few ways that I use my energy levels around this time. Another really fun thing that I've learned over the last couple years is that I'm not sure exactly why this is, but a lot of indigenous peoples and cultures knew that their menstrual cycles and ovulation time was surrounding the same cycle of the moon. And most people know the moon has a cycle as well. There is a full moon cycle and a new moon cycle. And for women, it's really great to be attuned to this. If you're into this kind of spirituality, there's also astrology that talks about the moon cycles and the planet cycles. But on a really basic level, since I'm not that educated in astrology, I read the book 4 Seasons in 4 Weeks, and I have a video talking about that book as well, and how the author also incorporates the cycles of the moon. And if you are not using contraceptives, and if you're living a moderately healthy lifestyle, or to the best of your abilities, you're keeping your stress levels down, a lot of women on this track, and you could even manifest it, that you are in sync with the moon cycles. So, for example, our full moon is in sync with our ovulation time. So if you look at the full moon, she is vibrant, she is bright, her energy is full. So comparing that to our cycles and our ovulation time, that can very well be aligned with those same attributes. We are full, vibrant, we are giving and bright, our energy levels are high, and I just think it's so beautiful. And for me, I have actually, over the last year, my cycles have synced up with the moon. And I don't know if it might have been a little bit of manifestation and just how my body has been syncing naturally on its own. But it is the new moon tomorrow, and I am officially ovulating. So it's actually really cool. And the same thing goes with your menstrual cycle. When the new moon is happening, you have emptied out and you have cleared the slate, and you are on a new cycle with your menstrual cycle. So you may have heard some women relate their cycle time with the moon, like, oh, I'm having my moon right now, or my new moon. Sometimes I say that too. And right now is the full moon. So you can also use those fun terms and phrases for your ovulation and menstrual cycle. I really want to express how important it is to know when you're ovulating. And if you want more in-depth information on all of this and how to get to know your cycle and your rhythm, then I would really suggest the book Fertility Awareness Method. And this basically teaches you all of the signs of when you're ovulating and how you can track your cycle, whether that's using the thermometer or you're tracking your cervical fluid. Those are the 2 main ways you can track your cycle, and it goes in depth about those 2 ways. And I think eventually in the future, I want to make another video just giving a very brief description of what that is and my experience with it. And just from my experience now going into the future, I can very confidently track my cycle and know when I'm going to be fertile. So you can use this to avoid pregnancy. And, I suggest having a very trustworthy and committed partner if you're going to use this method. That's a whole other topic in itself, but it also is to honor yourself and know that you can trust them and honor them. That's a very big part of it as well. One of the other things that I would like to correlate with the moon is I have really been getting into manifesting with the moon cycles. So whether that's setting intentions, you can do out vision boards, write in your journal, meditate on this day. You can take spiritual baths. I used to really like doing that. And this is a time, some women like to do it on the new moon. Some people like to do it on the full moon. I like to take advantage of both. It's just a really spiritual, strong time for me. Right now I have a lot of energy, so I like to set very high intentions around the moon cycle time, the full moon time. And that's also another really fun ritual you can get into, because you're focusing in on yourself and you're putting a lot of energy in there. And as women, I think it's really important that we take time to do this, because we are the first person that we need to serve out of our community, or else we can't serve anybody else. And as women, we do love and thrive on serving our community to a fault sometimes. So this is a really great time to remember. It's a great omen to get in touch with and remind yourself that it's time for me. It's me time. I'm going to manifest things right now. I'm going to focus in on myself. And this is where I am at spiritually and with my cycle. So it's a great reminder to do it at this time. All right, everyone, that's all I have for today. There's so much I can say on this topic, but I'm going to cut it here. And I hope if anything you learned something new, or it was just entertaining. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them down. Happy full moon in Virgo. I hope you manifest your dreams and your desires. And until next time, love your body, love your spirit, love your mind, and everything will be divine.